Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the Unknown Comics Podcast, episode 59. Hope everyone is doing well. And so if you are just joining us on any one of our platforms, of course, we're live on Whatnot, and we'll be actually doing some sales on Whatnot tonight, so you can join us there. You can search for us at Unknown Comics Live, or you can catch us on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, and just join us just for the conversation. So we are monitoring chat on all 4 platforms, so you can talk to us anywhere. And I don't think our air conditioner is working.
No, it's pretty toasty in here. It's not too bad outside, but it's humid as all get out, so that might be the reason the air conditioner is not working like it should.
Yeah, I don't like it. It don't feel good.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. We're excited to be here. If you're wondering where the other 58 episodes are, at least 57 of them should be on up on YouTube, or you can find them on any kind of platform that does a podcast, iTunes or Spotify, anything like that.
Yep.
They're old, but there's some good ones in there.
They're not all good, but some good ones.
The ones with Darren might get a little bit lengthy, but the other ones are nice.
So we put a poll up on Whatnot, because Whatnot allows us to do polls, and we put a simple question out there: who is better, Batman or Iron Man? So right now, Batman is in the lead. 65% say Batman over Iron Man out of, I guess, what is that, 38 votes on Whatnot. Make a poll for best Batman actor. Kevin Conroy, done.
If we're talking live action movie wise, I don't know. It's hard. It's going to either be. I like Batfleck a lot. I'd like to really see him get his own movie.
I actually liked Pattinson a lot. I liked him a lot more than I thought I was going to like him
as well. Yeah. So
it was not. I went in with tempered expectations on the Batman, and I came out pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's say that, especially me not being just a super Batman fan. I just liked that darker, the Nolan trilogy had the darker tone, but it had, like I said, it still had that comic darkness.
Yeah.
Let's say that. And then you got to see the detective aspect of him, so that was really awesome. So,
Well, as far as what's going on in the world, of course, today's She-Hulk drop. We'll get to that in here in just a moment. Yep. Some other things that are coming out here pretty soon. Of course, Andor, more Star Wars stuff coming up. I saw that they're re-releasing Rogue One in theaters with an extended sneak peek at Andor.
Yep.
So
in select IMAX theaters. I don't think ours is one of those select IMAX theaters. I couldn't find a
showing for it.
So
bastards. Not how to do those Batman fare against Robert Downey.
Oh, Robert Downey is such a better actor than
him. I think it's I don't know. We've had so many Batmans at this point. It's kind of like it's just like a thing, right?
Yeah.
You've only had one Iron Man, so would it be the same if we had multiple people play Iron Man over the last few years?
Somebody compare it against, yeah.
Robert Downey for sure is like on point, but I feel like almost all of Marvel casting has been pretty much on point, so it's kind of hard to.
And there's a lot of, just because Tony Stark wasn't, let's be honest, he was not an A-list Marvel character.
Yeah.
He was probably B-list at best prior to the movie. Because I remember in 2007, 2006 when it got announced, I'm just like, really? Iron Man?
Yeah. It totally revitalized his career.
Yeah. And so, and I think a lot of it is Robert Downey just being Robert Downey, and that influenced Tony Stark going forward.
Yeah, I think if you look at life-wise, he is a pretty good comparison outside of the money and the smarts.
Yeah.
But just the character, the guy himself, it's not too far off. We got Twitch going live.
Yep, Twitch is live. Carolina Chris on Twitch says set up late last night, about 3 a.m. in the morning, to watch the new She-Hulk episode, and he is excited for Andor as well. So we can go ahead and talk about it. Let's kind of keep it spoiler free, because there are people that are here that have not watched it yet.
I think it would be hard to spoil anything in it.
It's
as they pretty much showed everything in the trailer. So if you've seen a trailer, you pretty much know. She's a Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah, the crux of the episode is her origin story.
Yeah, very quickly, by the way.
Yeah, and how I think the crux of the episode is really how Bruce is dealing with her being the Hulk more than anything.
You learn a little bit about him and healing and different things like that, which is great. Which, of course, again, you've seen the trailer, you've seen that his arm is healed. So they go through that a little bit, of course. Won't give you the deets on exactly how that happens, but
but you know, at its nutshell, it's a lawyer kind of comedy, lots of humor in it. You know, probably
a couple of fourth wall breaks.
Yeah,
which is a thing for her.
Oh yeah, I mean, we saw that in the trailer, and excited to see Daredevil. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll see him till later. Make sure, for those that have not seen it yet, there is a mid-credits scene.
And from what I understand, there's going to be
lots of mid-credits and post-credits,
pretty much every episode.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
And I wouldn't say it's like MCU earth-shattering, but it's fun.
No, you know, it's definitely got, they want to, as we talked about last week, they try to hit all the genres, right? That's what Marvel's trying to do. Every genre that's possible to hit out there, that's what they're going to try to hit.
Yep.
Whether it be sci-fi, horror, now they're hitting the TV chick flick kind of thing with She-Hulk. You know, it's got that Ally McBeal lawyer thing. You know, the different friends that are going to be involved. It was already more sex talked about in this show than I can think about in any other Marvel movie, and we are only 30 minutes into it. So you learned a lot about Captain America you didn't know you needed to know.
Yeah, so it's like I said, I'm excited. It was about 37 minutes long, which is about what I thought it was going to be. If it was going to be a 10 episode run, like they're saying, I figured they were going to be in the 30 to 45 minute range, which I think is perfect. What I'm curious to see if they do is they talked about it being like a serial law show, like very much like Ally McBeal or Law and Order or something like that. But in a 37-minute time span, when you're also juggling the superhero aspect, like I thought, you know, are they going to do like a case an episode kind of a thing? I don't know if they've got enough time inside of an episode to really do that.
No, I feel like that's going to, it's whatever the case is going to be. It's probably going to drawn out through the whole season.
Right, exactly. It's not going to be that kind of a serial law show where every episode's different, which would have been kind of neat to see. Like it would have been Marvel's take on like Law and Order.
Yeah,
but
I know that Mark Ruffalo came out and said that as far as he knows, there won't be another Avengers movie without her in it. So we're definitely going to see a lot more of her in the future, which is pretty cool. Yeah,
and she's great.
Yeah,
I think she was the perfect casting for that. Like just the attitude and personality, I think is great. I like to see the interplay between Bruce and her. You know, because I'll be honest, I don't read a lot of her in the comics and stuff, so I wasn't totally aware of a lot of the humor that kind of came with it and stuff. But just like seeing their interplay is pretty fun. So
if you guys have seen it today, you can leave it as spoiler free as you can. That's fine. Just let us know in the comments what you guys think about She-Hulk. We're excited. I think it's going to continue to stay on Thursdays, from what I understand.
Yes.
Yep. And which is interesting because now I've got to cram that into my Thursday schedule instead of having a day to watch it. But that's okay. I watched it right before we started today, so I did get it in. And it's been pretty good. You want to do one of our first auctions here, Brandon?
Let's go ahead. Okay. So if you are following us on Whatnot, we are going to go ahead and sell some stuff. So let's go ahead and throw that up there.
All right. So we got it's a Venom 1 exclusive. This is the Virgin. We've got She-Venom on here. This was some older art that we got to reuse, and it's really, really great. Of course, the speech bubble there says, "Face it, Tiger. You just lost the jackpot." So it's the Kiona's variant. It's a Virgin variant. There's a version of this that doesn't have the speech bubble as well. Really, really cool cover. We like this one a lot. Again, this is Venom number 1. This is the Donny Cates run. And we're going to start this off at just $20. See where it goes.
Okay.
Venom 1. I got some other really cool auctions tonight. We got Venom 35 1/100 Stegman Virgin. And then I've got a couple of Batman 125s as well. So not a whole lot of auctions tonight, but we do have a few. So
Carolina Chris says her new comic book run dropped it around issue 3, but that's just him personally.
Yeah. The new She-Hulk.
Nightbot is still doing stuff on Twitch.
Oh yeah, still haven't changed any of
that. Ignore what Nightbot is telling you right now. A lot of it is outdated because I haven't opened Nightbot to update it in forever.
Yep, that's fun.
That's just on Twitch though. All right, let's see.
All right, got our Batman poll, Iron Man poll. Batman is still winning currently right now at 63. Haven't seen any arguments in here why Batman's better. So
There were some a little further up.
Some?
Yeah, you
Let me
missed
see.
some further up.
Let's see. Sandman actor might play a new Batman.
I mean, that's already Pattinson.
Yeah, and I think I've
Interchangeable.
seen him outside of that. A lot of it is more about who's the best
There we
Batman. Iron Man is more relatable. Alcoholism over parents being murdered. Yeah, real debate. Okay, so a lot of people want to know about who's the better Batman. Maybe we can do that next week. So,
Or we can just do another poll.
yeah, do another poll here in a second.
Yeah.
Who's the better Batman? Put them all on here. All right, so I think our argument with Batman has always been, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. I think a lot of people always said who would win this one, and I think, man, it's hard. They're both smart, but I think Iron Man carries the smart stick
Yeah.
more, and they both have money. So I just feel like if we were talking about who would win, I guess that'd be a different question.
Yeah.
Man, that's a hard one. I think that who would win, probably Iron Man, but I do like Batman better, I think.
I mean, his suit kind of trumps a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care what martial arts you know when a repulsor ray is coming at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
And if you're going to say, well, Batman would learn how to beat him, well, so would Iron Man. That's kind of, they both have that tick, so I don't think that would go either way, kind of a deal. All right. So, all right, let's.
Now, if Tony was making Batman's gear. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So we got our first poll gone there. Let's see.
Oh, it actually declares a winner, too, when you
Yeah.
close it. That's fancy.
Let's unpin this here. Take that off
Okay.
there. All right. So we didn't have a whole lot to start with here.
Yeah, so as far as giveaways tonight, guys, we don't actually have anything to give away, but there's a good reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris can tell you all about it.
Yeah, so tomorrow night, Tabby's going to be running a show. It's a giveaway show. It's one of our thank you shows. So right now at 8,470 followers, so thank you so much on Whatnot. If every 500 followers we do a giveaway show. So we have grown followers so quickly that we're only to like 6,500. So tomorrow is our 6,500 follower giveaway show tomorrow night. So we'll be doing a huge giveaway show. Would you like me to run the Venom one again? I can run it again. It starts at 20. Just let me know here. But again, that show tomorrow is going to be, I think, at 5:30.
Never mind.
Yep. So if you want to tune into that, we'll be doing, I think, about 50 or 60 different giveaways. Plus, you'll have some really sweet bundle boxes up for sale as well. So really, really cool deal tomorrow night at, I think, 5:30. I can check the show listings here, actually, just to make sure I'm not giving you the wrong information.
You probably are.
Yeah, no.
All right. So what else is everyone watching? So I am... Do you watch What We Do in the Shadows?
I haven't watched it.
Oh my gosh.
Is it good?
It is one of the most hilarious shows ever.
So giveaway show is going to be at 5:30 Central Standard Time
Okay.
tomorrow night.
What We Do in the Shadows is hilarious. It is based off of a movie that was done by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement. And it's basically, the movie is about three vampires who live in a house together in modern day New Zealand.
Okay.
And it's just like a fake documentary about their life.
It's
right?
almost like shot in an Office style.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, okay.
And it's hilarious. It was a great movie. So they did a television show on FX that is three vampires living in Staten Island.
Okay.
And it's the same format, and it's technically in the same world, right?
Yeah.
Because those characters have cameoed in the television show. The television show is actually on its fourth season now, and it is...
It's called What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. It is vulgar. Don't watch it around your kids.
Well, it's FX, so I kind of figured that right off the bat.
So
it's also on Hulu then.
yes, it
Okay.
is. Yep. It is. So I highly, highly recommend it for anybody who likes. Speaking of vampires, Caroline Chris says, I am about to sit down tomorrow and watch Day Shift starring Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg on Netflix. I didn't realize the show existed until today.
I just saw something about it today as well. So,
Yeah.
which is interesting. So,
Okay.
This is a Silk One Ji-Hung Lee Virgin variant. I'm going to start this off at just $15 and then let you guys take it from there. Really nice cover here. I see some 9/8 of this going for 150 to 200 graded, so I figure maybe if somebody wants a shot at it, they can get it graded. Yeah. It's a really nice book, nice cover. Of course, Ji-Hung Lee is always a good one to have.
All right.
Are you trying to update the bot while you're going there?
No, I have to. I'd have to log into it and go into. Well, actually, I probably could. So while we're just kind of meandering here, because you can tell we're super prepared for tonight.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you hopping in on that one. That's a good one.
If there is anything that y'all want to talk about,
congrats, Jeff.
Let me know, and we can talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get through these. I'll kind of run through these auctions right quick. We have just a few.
So,
see if anything comes up while we're going through them. So
actually, I did have a question for you that I think could spark a discussion, and this kind of dovetails off of the Acetate-Gate.
Okay. We have some official word on that too. I can talk about that in a second.
Yeah. So a lot of this was Black Flag. Is that the comic store?
Yes.
Black Flag Comics, and they have a very, personal relationship with Clayton Crane, right? He's not an owner, but
they have a very consistent working relationship.
Kind of like we do with some artists.
Yes.
Right?
I would say a more intimate working business relationship as it was Clayton Crane's books that had the acetate covers.
Right.
So, yeah.
So my question is I was under the impression that Marvel does not really like us to directly interact with the artists.
That is correct. As far as now, if they have some kind of documentation saying, hey, we're working on this together, we're upfront about it, blah, 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 then that's a whole other story. It's one of those things if we commission Tyler to do something with Marvel, we don't talk to Tyler about that project while it's ongoing.
Right.
But we don't have any paperwork saying that we're doing something with Tyler. So that's the reason for that. So anytime we have Tyler do something for us, there is no conversation between us and him about that product until it's out.
So now
that Marvel can be the official voice for the project.
So all that to say is with everything coming out, and of course Marvel is now aware of it. They've made a statement on it. Does the fact that, I don't know. So I guess because Clayton was no longer involved in the creation of that book for Marvel, it's okay for that relationship to persist, I guess.
Well, again, I don't know.
Are they going to get slapped on the hand for it?
I think it's. I know that there was some other retailers that were saying, okay, if Marvel's not going to do about this, we're going to join and start doing it ourselves. So Marvel was good at making sure they turned around quickly and said, this is a no-no.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal. But as far as I know, any official repercussions, that's nothing that I know of.
Yeah.
I think it's you shouldn't have done that, and now everybody's knows not to do it, and there will be no more doing that.
It's George says, if I wanted to staple an acetate cover to a comic, should I use a red swing lane stapler?
I think I think a big thing is going back to the bigger issue is I think a lot of people were more upset about the fact that CGC did what they did without thinking that there would be any repercussions from their customer base.
Because they're dictating a market trend, right?
Yes.
They're dictating collectability.
Well, and they created a special rule for this to be okay.
Yeah.
Now, CBCS coming out and saying that they would make the book a 7.0 automatically. It's as high as it would grade because the extra staples in the books are actually now.
So what CBCS has just said is don't send it to us. You're not going to get as high a grade as CGC.
Yes, and it would come back being messed with because
Tampered,
it was restored or whatever you want to call it. It would get some kind of a different label. I think that CGC could have graded it whatever they wanted if they just would have said it was green or purple or whatever it was supposed to be, saying that it wasn't the original cover.
Right.
So.
Welcome to a hobby that is reliving the 90s and letting an overglut in the ignorance of many retailers hurting the long-term market again.
I still don't agree with that. We're still not even close to touching what the 90s did. Not even close. Print runs never even reach 1 million. I mean, you're talking about X-Men. X-Men 1 hit 8 million.
Within, like...
I think Spawn,
years, yeah.
Spawn 300 barely hit 1 million or something like that. So, I mean, we're not even getting close. You think you have all these different exclusive dealers like us that do exclusives, and none of us, our print runs are tiny in comparison. So, I mean, there's nothing that we're doing that's getting even close to what had happened way back when.
Yeah.
As far as collectability goes, the comics are still, I'd say, still more collectible than ever, just because the print runs are so much smaller.
So doubling back, so Marvel did make an official statement and basically said, "Don't do that."
Yep.
That is, that's not. You can do whatever you want to with the books, but you can't basically alter them and resell them.
Yeah.
So do you think then CGC then comes back and changes their policy in light of new directives from Marvel? Does that allow them to save face and change that policy?
I think their CYA is going to be, we didn't know. We thought it was something official.
Well, and CGC
and
said that
it was from the get-go.
CGC said that when they made their initial statement, it was unprecedented at the time, right? Yeah. So they had never had anything to go off of like this. So to kind of give them credit, now that Marvel has come out and said don't do that, that kind of gives them an out to change that policy.
Basically.
And be like, okay, we made a decision with the information we had.
Yeah.
And now, we're gonna 90 degrees on that and change our directive.
Yeah, I think that it does give them an out. It does give them a way to save face. Now, I don't know how many of these, because these books were already graded and at shows for sale.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, because I'm pretty sure Black Flag probably already has books like this for New York. Are they going to sell them at New York? I have no idea.
Yeah,
because Marvel for sure will be at New York.
Did they sell any Acetate covers at Boston?
They did.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they sold them at Boston. Darren sent me pictures of the books from Boston.
Can I be honest? The Acetate covers look like dog crap.
There's that as well. They're just like the one that I saw was just like an American flag. There's no like official Marvel comic art, which I guess is probably why they thought
it looked like
it was going to be fine, right?
Yeah. Okay, and
they were ass. I was in Boston.
Yeah. I guess.
Hey, congratulations, Dave. By the way, yes, that is a great pool. That is a book that goes for a lot more than that.
So let me ask you this, just to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Yeah.
What is the difference between Clayton Crane doing an acetate cover like that versus doing a remark on a book?
See, and I can understand, and I think again this goes back to the fact of not so much that they did it, is more of why did CGC do what they did?
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, collectible-wise, that's the bigger issue, is that CGC allowed something like this to completely change what was going on. Now, that is part of what Marvel has come out and said. They've come out, had their statement saying don't change the books in any way, shape, or form. So a lot of people are like, well, what does that leave artists doing? Remarks or doing this or that.
Sketch covers.
Covers. Well, you may be adding some paint or ink to a book, but you're not completely adding a whole new cover to a book. So a lot of these books, again, grading-wise, I can have this Batman book right here, okay, this foil cover, which foils covers suck, and it has, this one doesn't, but let's just say I did. This one had, let's say it had 4 or 5 ticks on the spine.
Let me see let me show the big screen.
Okay.
Give me that mouse. Yeah, where to go.
So let's say this book had 4 or 5 ticks on the spine and was just complete garbage. I wouldn't sell it. So what do? I'm going to add
now everywhere.
I'm going to add an acetate cover to this whole book right here, and the acetate cover is going to look perfect. So now this cover underneath that maybe grades an 8.0, I'll put a perfectly good acetate cover on the top, and now it's going to grade out a 9.8, 9.9, maybe even a 10. Who knows? Because CGC is going to grade the only one cover, and they're not going to grade the main cover. So now we can take garbage copies and make them better. So that's another one of the issues that comes out of that. Again, that the grading community, the CGC, the collector community is going, what the crap, man? So I think that's a big part of that.
Staplegate. I like Acetate-Gate. I think it's got a better ring to it. Carolina Chris. Oh, he jumped over to YouTube to start talking to us.
Who is this?
Carolina Chris.
Okay. He's just like,
I
want to
get
get
from
it
Twitch
all.
to YouTube. I'm tracking him down here. We'll see him on Facebook here in a little bit. I get it. You hear they're going for nearly 600 on eBay.
Yeah, and see, I know at one point eBay was pulling some of this down, and again, I think if they were pulling them down at first because they weren't being solicited as a redone product. I'm guessing if you put the product on eBay saying yes, it is an acetate cover, it's not the legit thing, then of course you're being all the way up front. So if those eBay sales are real, I doubt it. I mean, there is that as well. I think at one point I saw a picture of somebody had one listed for like 30 grand or something, or 14 grand. It was 14 grand.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope that wasn't somebody tried to buy that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of collectors that just aren't going to do it. And a lot of people didn't realize they were fake at first, especially there in C2E2. So there's that as well. So
there you go.
Who knows? I know we had some questions. Somebody asked if we were going to have some exclusives at New York. The answer is yes. We will have a lot of exclusives at New York. We plan on having some David Nakayama gold foil covers. We plan on having some David Nakayama silver foil covers. I'll leave the questioning of to what it will be a little closer to when we reveal them. We'll have a Sabine Rich foil cover. We will have 4 different Tyler Kirkham exclusives that will be New York as well. So there will be a lot of pretty cool exclusives from us. I think we have about 9 or 10 now.
When are we going to start previewing those?
So probably this next week, since Emerald City is this week, this weekend, next weekend, we'll probably start pushing all of our New York stuff out, kind of announcing all the creators we have, which I can tell you guys that here in a second, and then all of the New York exclusives as well. So,
and just so y'all know, so on YouTube, we do a couple of videos. One is Sarah's FOC video, so it's your pre-order video, the top 10 books that you need to be pre-ordering. But then also on Fridays, I drop This Week at Unknown, where I show off all of our exclusives that we launched that week. And I do preview books that are upcoming. So if you want to see those books once we preview them, make sure you follow us on Facebook. We post them there.
Yep.
And then also you can subscribe to us on YouTube and catch the This Week at Unknown, where I do previews there as well.
Yep. Let's see, a couple questions here on Whatnot. Are they going to be con exclusives only? Cable Wolverine, thank you for the question. So they will not be, they will be and they won't be, because we will be releasing some on Whatnot every day.
Yeah.
So make sure you're on there. Brandon, myself, and we might even have one other person helping us with Whatnot that week. You have to talk to them about it, so we'll see if they're able to go or not. So we'll be doing Whatnot shows all 4 days. So be ready for that.
And they will start as con exclusives, but depending on what stock we have after the show, typically we do try to kind of do some bundles after the fact. But it just depends on what we have left.
Yeah, it really depends. Like Harley Quinn 17 that we released in C2E2, we don't have a whole lot of those left.
Yep.
We did release a few of those on our website for the people that buy from us all the time, but again, it was not very few.
So
they sold out instantly. So
yeah, if you can't make it to New York, the best thing to do is follow us on Whatnot. And you will have opportunities to do those. Because we did those as Buy It Nows too, right? Or did we do auctions exclusively?
Usually Buy It Nows, then we do signed ones for auctions. So Comics Fan 59, every comic shop I walk into has bins and bins of overordered, unsold overstock. Then 6 months later, they try to blow it out a $1 a piece or less. Why no one heard of Cycle Sheets? So I will tell you, Comics Fan, a lot of this, of course, it's an industry. It's you want to make money.
There's a lot of speculation.
There's speculation. That's a big part of why comic shops overorder. So especially like number ones, you're talking about a lot of small print stuff. One Aftershock book hits, so the next one that comes up, you're like, oh, I need to order 30 of those. Well, you didn't, but you wanted to because you were hoping it was going to hit like the last one you only ordered 10 of and didn't have enough. So speculation is a lot of that. Again, there's still not a whole lot of stuff. We do almost exclusively pre-orders, and I don't mean pull boxes. I mean, pre-orders. Our customers pre-order all of our weekly books from us. We do order a little bit over for damages and sometimes speculation, although I usually skip on that.
We order a little bit of normal covers for retail and stuff like that.
We have a little bit of books for just local customers to walk in off the street and pull off the wall. But the wall by the end of the week is pretty much bare. We sell almost everything we get. I mean, we have some back issue bins. And I mean, we never have to run any sales in store to keep them low. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of that's kind of the old way of thinking. A lot of stores still do pull boxes. So we just don't do that. We have our customers pre-order and pay up front, so we're never out the money. It definitely makes sure that us as a store is not putting our finances on risk for holding comic books for people.
Cable Wolverine. So the exclusives, when we run them at the shows, they're the allotment is for that show.
Yeah.
And then basically before we do the next show, we look at what our allotment is and how much we need to pull. Basically, before we run a Whatnot show, we pull that inventory out of Unknown Comics inventory and move it to Whatnot. And so that's kind of how it's.
I will say I usually try to find a number that I can limit to each day. Now at the show, we haven't limited per day. Now, if there is a book that it just hits so hard at the show that we don't have any left on Whatnot, then that's going to go to the show.
We don't really foresee that happening, though. We order quite a bit to cover it.
Yeah. So, but I will say in the past, a lot of times I do only limit certain amounts of books per day, and a part of that is because we only take so much stock with us to the show, and then of course there's only so much stock here at the show as well at the store. So. It can be possible.
Carolina Chris on YouTube says he loves David Nakayama's work. We do too.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, so much so that he is probably one of our most used artists right now.
Yeah.
He orders quite a bit of product from our guy's website over the past few years. Heart.
Yeah, we have more stuff coming from David. Of course, he's got a few more gala covers coming. The Magic cover for Axe Judgment Day 5 is awesome. You guys will see that this weekend on our social media. We'll be posting that. So take a look at
this weekend Unknown. Thank you very much.
We'll see that next weekend because it'll be next week's book. Look, because you don't do a preview of the next week's, do you?
I mean, I could.
Yeah, I mean the art's usually there by the time you're doing your video.
Yeah.
So, but the preview for Saturday will show that Magic cover for Axe 5, Axe Judgment Day 5.
Oh yeah, the Saturday covers I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It'll be a Tuesday drop.
I may do like the next week is like a real quick. Hey, these are the.
Yeah.
Totally
cool. We'll see. Yeah. And then, but it looks great. He's got Magic transitioning from like full demon mode into that. That's another magazine style cover.
Yeah.
We've got some more future color bleed stuff coming with him. He's got some DC color bleeds coming up, which are really cool. That we're going to get to work with DC on as well.
Because we revealed
Zatanna, yeah, that was launched this week. Absolutely stunning cover. So that will have a foil for New York. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. So that Zatanna cover will have a full-blown New York Comic-Con exclusive foil variant. So
that's why you tune into our podcast.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get Crystal Leak stuff.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that.
Darren's not watching. We don't care.
Yeah, well, he'd probably be like, why aren't we talking about it already anyway? So it's fine. I think that is Ron on here right now?
Larry?
I don't know. Maybe.
He'll be with us in New York. Though.
Yeah, Ron Leary Jr. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you who's coming with us. Ron Leary Jr., Sabine Rich, and Anna Zhou will both be in the Artist Alley area. Ron Leary Jr., David Nakayama, and Marco Mastraza will all be with us at our booth.
Yep.
So should be a lot of fun. We're gonna pack the house. We're gonna take a lot of people.
Do we have a booth number yet?
No. Well, we still. They told us they weren't gonna really tell us anything until after Emerald City. So they haven't really given us any info yet. So
it'd be hilarious if it's on their website already, but they haven't told us.
Yeah, it would be. Although I doubt it. They've been so full with C2E2 and Emerald City, they haven't given us much.
There's not a lot on their website. So.
No. Yeah, I figure it's going to be full tilt into New York as soon as Emerald City ends. I bet they get like one day off, and then they're going to be running with their heads on fire.
I'm excited to go. I'm not excited to drive for 50 hours.
No, the driving is definitely the part that I hate the most. I do get a lot of books in. C2E2, we got an entire Star Wars book in. The two guys that were with me, I started the book, and both of them were like nobody talked. We just listened to the book the whole time. And a good thing they're both Star Wars freaks as well. We'd get back in the car after like a gas station, and Jason would be in the back, and he's like, start the book. And I'm like, I'd like sit there for like 20 minutes driving, waiting to see who would say something.
Is
first.
it one of the High Republic books or something?
So we listened to the Ronin book, the newest Star Wars Visions.
Oh, okay.
The Ronin. And it was good. I liked it.
I still have not watched any of the Vision shorts.
So this is probably the best Vision short. There's even a comic book coming out. There's already the novel that's been released, of course. But Star Wars Visions, it was very good. I liked it. Of course, if you had never listened to a Star Wars novel like on Audible or something, I highly recommend it. They're fully immersive. I mean, you've got lightsaber sounds going on. You've got
almost like a radio drama.
Yeah, in a way, for sure. And even though it's usually just one guy doing all the voices, he does a very good job of narrating.
Distinguishing the voices.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then again, like I said, it's fully immersive. So if a droid's supposed to be in there, it sounds like a droid. If you know what I mean. So they do a really good job. I like it a lot. It's very, very good. I've listened to probably 16 or 17 Star Wars novels now. I'm now listening to Shadow of the Sith, which is pretty cool. It's another new novel that came out recently about the same time that Kylo Ren is about 16. He's still being trained by Luke. Rey's about 6 years old. She's in the book. So you're kind of getting some more background to these characters while also going into another story with Luke and Lando. So
I will tell you, Star Wars related, something I did. I realized that I had only seen Rise of Skywalker once, the first time in the theater. And I immediately was like, I don't like it, blah, blah, blah.
Never again.
So I decided because I was kind of laid up a little bit earlier this week, and I decided I was going to watch it again, just to give it a second chance. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
As much as I thought I did.
You know what? I think so many people gave so much hate to the.
I just think I hated Last Jedi so much that I was already bitter going into it.
And it's hard to fix that one, right? To all of it.
Yeah.
Of course, that was an easy one, but I just thought I'd put it up there.
I love both. You can love both.
I do like both.
So for Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, or Twitter. For Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, we put a poll up on Whatnot. What space is better, Star Trek or Star Wars?
Yeah.
And Star Wars is right now winning handily.
Yeah. I don't even know if anybody's going to pick Star Trek, but we'll see. There's going to be that one Trekkie. It's going to be the one Trekkie.
It's not Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Trek,
like you're trekking. Yeah.
Yes.
But we're Trekkies.
Like a mountain bike.
But we're Trekkies.
Stop it. So as far as listening material in New York, did you ever listen to Dune?
Dune I've listened to. I've even actually listened to the second Dune book already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm further than you.
You are. I've only ever read the first book.
There's a lot of them.
Yes,
we got two Star Trekkers. Look at that. They just did it to mess with me. Star Trek needs to meet the current
we could always crack out the horse heresy.
On space?
No, as far as audiobook.
Oh, yeah. I have tried to listen to some of the...
I've got the first three.
Yeah. Let's see. Star Trek needs to meet the current hype. Have you watched some of the stuff on Paramount Plus, Wiggy? It's pretty good. Kirk ain't as cool as Han Solo, reship captain. Laura, I think that the Chris Pine version of Kirk's pretty cool. Now, the Kirk that they just introduced into the Paramount Plus TV shows, I'm not as big of a fan on, but maybe he'll grow on me. Yeah, right. CGC has a Whatnot now.
CGC has a Whatnot channel?
Yeah, CGC has a Whatnot channel. Now, all they did on it was giveaways.
Oh, okay.
But they just did a signing with Jim Lee, Scott Williams, and
I just think that's conflict of interest if they sell, sell product.
I think the reason they didn't was because of that. A lot of people were like,
They're going to start selling stuff now? Look at all these 10-0s that we've got.
Yeah, so it was all giveaways on their show. I don't think they did any auctions. Maybe if somebody watched it, they could tell me for sure.
Yeah.
Facts, guys. Yeah.
Carolina Chris on YouTube says he's a big fan of Clone Wars Final Season and Rebels. Yeah.
Yeah, all the Star Wars cartoons I'm a fan of. Actually, except for the new one I haven't watched.
Resistance was not good.
Is that the newer one?
I mean, Bad Batch is technically the newest.
Well,
one.
the Resistance is the new Disney Plus one, right?
It was kind of the Yeah, well, it was on Disney XD before it went defunct, but yeah, it was the cel-shaded looking kind of one.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like in the Kylo Ren
Yes.
gray, right? And it's actually on. I started seeing it pop up in timelines, and I was like, "Oh crap! Do I need to go watch that, or is it like not actually connected?"
I don't know. I mean, like Poe shows up in it. I watched the first episode and I was like, I have no interest in this whatsoever.
Yeah. What's your favorite cover on Mandalorian 2? Of course, I think it's got to be the photo covers for me, but let's look them up. Brandon's looking them up right now.
Like our exclusives? Is that?
Well, we have our exclusive, which is really great cover from Todd Knock. I think our cover is actually really stellar. The one for Mandalorian 3 is also Todd Knock, and it was great. They had auctions and buy it nows, where one or more auctions were Jim Lee art, then colored by a later artist. Yeah, so I think if they're doing it like that, it's George, like where they have the artist there with them doing the auction. Most likely, Jim Lee is getting that money. So I don't mind that, right? Because that's his money. Now, if CGC was just like doing a pop-up show with absolutely zero guests, that would be an issue.
Yeah.
That would be a conflict of interest for sure. That I don't think.
Because there's
would be
no
cool.
accountability to the product that they're throwing out there. Right?
Yeah, because, and it could be the fact that, yeah, again, like you're saying, like they could just say, yeah, it's a 10-0 because we say so, and here you go. I mean, it could look like complete garbage, and it probably won't. I doubt CGC would do that. But they also just did this whole acetate crap. So, yeah, it's kind of one of those things. So,
Oh. Those are kind of cool.
yeah. Is that one for issue 2? Now, there's a lot of exclusive covers out there, too.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I just did a Google search, and it's...
Yeah, I think that's not an actual cover. That's like somebody's art.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Some of these are just art.
That is the actual...
Yeah, that's Mayhew?
Mike Mayhew.
Yeah, that's his exclusive cover.
Yeah, that's almost photorealistic right there.
Yeah. He does a lot of almost everything Mike does is from photos. He does a lot of studio shoots when he does models and all that stuff. Any Clayton Crane covers? Nothing for sale here, Jason. We've only done a couple of Clayton Crane exclusives at all here at Unknown Comics.
Yeah,
so
he did.
We did Old Man Hawkeye and Venom 150.
Yep.
Those are the only Clayton Crane covers we've done. So, Milliboo. All right, so clearly Star Wars has won the space talk up here. So,
Yep.
we're going to go and declare Star Wars as the winner, which I figured it would be. Now, I am curious. Well, let's just find out. Let's see how you guys are. You guys seem nerdy, so let's just figure out.
And you can add more than 2 choices too.
Yeah. I guess I can add another one here.
You can do it. I have complete faith in you. Dune.
Let's add another. You say Dune?
Dune.
Okay. And then I've got one more star. Yeah.
That's not saga. That's
There's 3 movies.
okay.
Now they're all the same movie, reused stuff.
Starship Troopers is trash. I mean, it's fun trash, but it's trash.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Dune, somebody's already got it for the Dune. So we put another poll up. Second-based space saga. Star Trek, Stargate, Dune, Starship Troopers. Now it could have been like, was it Babylon?
Babylon 5.
Babylon 5. You could put some of that stuff in there as well. But, just kind of having fun with it, seeing what you guys
We're going to get a lot of hate that, we didn't put, The Expanse on there.
The Expanse on Amazon
Expanse
Prime is good. Yeah, I still have not finished the last season.
So good.
Battlestar Galactica. I know,
Yeah.
right, Reggie? I knew we were going to be some of the people in
Alien,
there.
yeah. Like, there's so
Alien.
many different.
Yeah.
So much better than Starship Troopers. So much.
Well, you got to put the outliner in there.
It's like the control group.
Yeah.
Just to make sure no bots.
Somebody picked Starship. That's my boy. Who did it? Who picked Starship? Tell us the truth. Star Trek's currently winning as a second. I like Stargate a lot. Dune's great. Of course, Dune only has, it has the TV show, it has the older movie, the new movie, and of course, a lot of books.
Yeah.
Star Trek has tons and tons of stuff. Shows upon shows, movies,
Books, comics.
novels, comics. It's all out
Crossover
there.
comics. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure Star Trek's teamed up with Marvel characters and DC characters and Transformers probably at one point. Who knows?
Yeah, it's Star Trek's everywhere. So But it's good to see. It's cool to see Dune holding it. Like I said, Stargate. There's been so much Stargate as well. It's got RPGs, comics. It's had, of course, TV shows. The one movie. But I've watched a whole lot of Stargate in my time as well. So, Starship Troopers. I've watched, of course, the main movie quite a few times.
Spaceballs,
right? That could be another poll
again.
For time.
Saga. I don't know if it qualifies as saga.
I do like watching or seeing the guys dress up as Spaceball characters at
shows,
at
like Barf and Lone Star.
Yes, it's great. You don't see a whole lot of Lone Star. You see Barf and you see
Yogurt.
What do they call him?
Dark Helmet.
Yeah, Dark Helmet. Yeah, you see him a lot. And sometimes it's a short guy like it should be, and sometimes it's a guy that's like, hey, dude, like you're too tall to be wearing that helmet.
You should be going the Vader route, not the Dark Helmet route.
Yeah, like you had it right with the small helmet, my friend.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers, because not all 9 SWs were great. Well, not all Starship Troopers were great either. It's George.
I don't know that any of them are great.
The second, was it the second or the third one? The second one, I think they did it in like 40 days. And then I think the third one, they just like reused video clips from the first one or something like that.
I read the book in high school.
For Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
I've tried, man. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's old, that's why.
And then I watched the first movie, and that's my only exposure to Starship Troopers.
Well, in a way, Starship Troopers was a big, was it resource or... What's the right word I'm trying to use? For Warhammer, right?
Yeah, Heinlein influenced sci-fi for years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubting that. The movie just was done in such a way that it was just more camp than...
And they've talked over and over about coming back and actually doing a TV show out of it, which I think would actually be pretty cool. Now, those original actors, they could maybe bring them back in some way, shape, or form if they wanted to. But it'd be interesting to see them bring that back. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, did we want to try to relist any of this stuff? See if anybody else...
I think we're okay.
And we're good?
Yeah. We'll go ahead and end this poll and say that Star Trek looks to be the second best space saga at this time.
There we go. Chris is loving the poll mechanic.
Yeah.
He is.
Hey, it's starting some conversations with us, so that's good.
All right, guys. So like I said, don't forget to follow us on YouTube if you haven't already, because we post a lot of content. So we do archive this video podcast there. We have Sarah's FOC video every Thursday. She drops that, and that basically outlines the top 10 books that you need to be pre-ordering. You can either do that through us or through your friendly local game store. Then on Fridays, This Week at Unknown, where I show you all of the happenings going on, everything from con information, in-store events when we have them, and all of our exclusives. Those drop on Friday evening, so don't forget to do that there. If you're watching us on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, be sure to head over to Whatnot and follow us on Whatnot at Unknown Comics Live, because we do just a ton of live sales and podcasts and other things there. And like I said, they're kind of your best option to join us at a con when you can't go to a con.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. We try to bring as much in as we can. Having extra hands at like New York and stuff, hopefully we'll be able to go around the room and gather some other fun goodies as well, not just our own. So
yeah. So all right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for episode 59 of the Unknown Comics Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back next week. Thanks.
Later.
Bye-bye.